He was told he might never walk again, but Jason Kennison fought his way back from paraplegia.
Mount Everest, where gridlock on top of the mountain may be to blame for at least 9 deaths.
Located in the Himalayas, Mount Everest challenges adventurers to a realm steeped in mystery, where tales of lost explorers linger in the frigid air. This majestic peak guards its secrets with an icy veil, tempting daring souls to unravel its enigmas, only to discover that some truths remain filled with mystery. With Everest now inaccessible, we are left to ponder the chilling secrets that prompted its closure. What hidden horrors lie within the legendary death zone? Join us as we ascend the world's tallest mountain to unveil its deepest and most horrifying secrets. The silent guardians of Everest. Setting foot on the journey towards Mount Everest is like entering a realm where every icy breath whispers of mysteries yet to be discovered, and the cold air keeps secrets of those who dared to explore but never returned. This giant of the Himalayas, reaching skywards to nearly 30,000 feet, stands guard over its secrets with a cold determination, challenging the most courageous to decode its icy enigmas, only to teach us that perhaps some mysteries are best left untouched. With the mountain now off-limits to those who dream of conquering its peak, one can't help but wonder about the spine-chilling stories and puzzles that prompted such a decision. What kind of terrifying secrets and stories are hidden in the embrace of the mountain's cold arms to justify such a drastic step? The hidden truths of Everest call out to us, urging us to explore the depths of its icy heart. In the notorious death zone of Mount Everest, positioned above 8,000 meters, the very foundation of survival is challenged, presenting numerous hazards and requiring exceptional mental and physical strength to navigate. In this perilous zone, every part of a climber's body is desperate for oxygen, which is in short supply, leading to dangerous health conditions like brain swelling known as high-altitude cerebral edema, or HACE, and fluid in the lungs known as high-altitude pulmonary edema, or HAPE. These issues can lead to a range of symptoms from nausea and vomiting to disorientation, seeing things that aren't there, and even death. The lack of oxygen impacts more than just the brain and lungs. It also affects crucial organs like the liver and kidneys, which play a key role in cleaning the body and removing waste, reducing the body's overall function. The digestive system suffers as well, decreasing the ability to digest food and absorb nutrients, which are essential for maintaining the energy needed for such a demanding task. Climbers also face environmental and external challenges, including extreme cold that can lead to frostbite and snow blindness, making it even more difficult to climb to the highest parts of Everest. The intense physical effort required at such heights, along with a decrease in thinking clearly, making good decisions, and remembering things, significantly increases the risk for climbers. Studies have shown that climbers move much slower, lose a lot of weight and muscle, and their ability to think clearly drops as they go higher. The weather on Everest adds another layer of danger. Sudden storms can bring extremely strong winds and heavy snowfall, leading to whiteout conditions and a higher chance of avalanches. These storms can trap climbers, making it hard to move forward or find their way back. Climate change has made these risks even worse by melting glaciers and creating unstable ice, which raises the chance of avalanches and makes it harder to see and avoid deep cracks in the ice. Climbing Everest, especially in the death zone, raises serious mental and ethical questions. The high number of deaths and extreme challenges have sparked debates about whether it's right to take such risks, not just for the climbers, but also for their guides and helpers. The environmental impact of climbing, such as trash and human waste left on the mountain, also brings up concerns about whether these attempts to reach the summit should continue. To tell this story in more detail, we'd explore the individual experiences of climbers, both the triumphs and tragedies, and delve into the profound connection between humans and this majestic mountain. We'd examine how the quest to reach the summit of Everest has evolved over time, reflecting on the advancements in technology and changes in societal attitudes towards such perilous adventures. Through interviews, historical accounts, and scientific research, we'd provide a comprehensive look at what drives individuals to face the dangers of the death zone, the physical and psychological preparation required, and the ethical considerations of engaging in such a high-stakes endeavor. Making it through the death zone on Mount Everest relies heavily on detailed planning, getting used to the lower oxygen levels gradually, and following safety rules closely. This process of getting used to the low oxygen, known as acclimatization, is essential to lower the chances of getting sick from the high altitude. Having the right equipment, like warm clothes and extra oxygen, and being in good physical and mental shape are crucial to survive. It's also vital to know the signs of altitude sickness and get help right away if they appear. The knowledge and experience of the Sherpas, who know the mountain well, are incredibly valuable for climbers. Traveling through Everest's death zone is more than just a physical challenge. It's a deep dive into what humans can endure. This adventure requires thorough preparation, a lot of respect for the mountain, and a clear understanding of the serious risks. Climbers have to deal with not just the tough environment and physical issues, but also think about the moral aspects of such a dangerous journey. The story of John Griffiths and his team in the quiet, icy world of Everest shows the tense relationship between climbers and the local Sherpas. Their attempt to climb the mountain turned into a nightmare when they faced the anger of the Sherpas, who see themselves as the protectors of their homeland. This encounter, highlighting the vast cultural differences, forced Griffiths and his team to give up their dream of reaching the top, overwhelmed by the mountain's chilling reality. The mysterious expedition of George Mallory and Sandy Irvine in 1924 hints at the possibility they might have been the first to reach Everest's summit, challenging the accepted history. The loss of Mallory's camera, which could have confirmed their achievement, adds to the mystery, making us wonder about the secrets Everest still holds. As night falls over Everest, it's not just the darkness that's unsettling, but also the strange noises that fill the air. These sounds, from low rumbles to loud roars, have led to stories about an angry spirit living in the mountain, reminding us of Everest's sacred and inviolable status. Everest remains a puzzle, its lethal allure and hidden secrets serving as a reminder of the arrogance of those who try to conquer nature. The mountain's mysteries, hidden beneath ice and old tales, prove that Everest rules over the ambitions of humans, demanding a high price for the quest for glory. Climb into the danger zone, where Everest shows its raw power. The ghosts of the hideous mountain. In a place where dreams clash with the harsh reality of nature, the stories of Mount Everest transform into dark lessons about human limits. There's a well-known climber who shared stories about strange noises at night, like the sound of ice and snow falling, which seemed like the mountain was in pain. This was first thought to be something supernatural, but was later explained by scientists as the result of climate changes. When it gets very cold at night, the ice breaks and sends snow and ice rushing down, creating a lot of noise. However, understanding this doesn't really make the people living near Everest feel any better. The mountain at night still feels like a mysterious and powerful force. Then, there's the Rainbow Valley, not far below Everest's summit. It's a place both beautiful and sad, known for the colorful equipment on the bodies of climbers who didn't make it. The death zone, where the Rainbow Valley is located, has very little oxygen, which makes it extremely hard to survive or bring back those who've died. With more than 200 climbers left on Everest, the cost and danger of bringing them back are too high, often more than $70,000. This harsh reality, coupled with the danger of the climb, means that many climbers are left where they fall. Among these is the climber known as Green Boots, thought to be Tsewang Paljor, who became a landmark for those heading to the summit. Summit fever adds to the danger. This is when climbers are so focused on reaching the top that they ignore the risks, sometimes stepping over the bodies of fallen climbers. This makes parts of Everest feel like an open graveyard. The Rainbow Valley is a powerful reminder of the risks of climbing Everest. It shows the importance of being very careful, getting used to the high altitude, and following safety rules if you're going to take on such a huge challenge. By doubling the content and simplifying the language, the narrative emphasizes the dangers and mystical experiences associated with Everest, highlighting the need for respect, preparation, and awareness of the mountain's challenges. Pemba Dorje's story takes us into the heart of Everest's mysteries. He talks about seeing ghostly figures during his incredibly fast climb up the mountain. These ghosts seem to be asking for help, stuck on the mountain forever. This story adds to the mountain's many legends, suggesting that Everest holds on to the people who've tried to conquer it but failed. Then, there's a problem on Everest that's not often spoken about: the waste left behind by climbers. More than 12,000 pounds of human waste are on the mountain, causing pollution and threatening the health of people living nearby. This issue shows how popular Everest has become, and how it's suffering because of its fame. Jim Davidson's experience during the 2015 earthquake is another remarkable story. He was at Everest's base camp when the earthquake hit, showing how powerful and unpredictable nature can be. His story is about surviving against all odds, showing how strong people can be in the face of natural disasters. These stories together paint a picture of Everest that's both beautiful and harsh. They show a mountain that's not just a physical challenge, but also a place filled with stories of adventure, danger, and the supernatural. Everest is more than just the highest peak in the world. It's a place where the line between life and death is incredibly thin, and where the stories of those who've tried to reach its summit will always be remembered. Reflecting on these tales, we see the human desire to achieve greatness, but also the costs that come with such daring ambitions. Everest serves as a reminder of the beauty and terror of the natural world, and the human spirit's capacity to face it. See how Everest tests and shapes those who dare to climb it. The Yeti, Everest's unsolved mystery. After the terrible earthquake hit Nepal, Everest turned into a scene of immense sadness and loss. The quake took the lives of 18 people on the mountain and caused 9,000 more deaths in nearby areas. Jim Davidson found himself caught in this tragedy, trapped by Everest for 11 long days. But instead of giving up, he became a source of strength and hope, helping others, even in such a desperate situation. His experience is a powerful example of how people can show incredible strength in the face of danger and disaster. The Rainbow Valley on Everest is a stark reminder of the mountain's harsh reality. This area, close to the summit, is filled with the colorful gear of climbers who lost their lives on the mountain. Despite the beauty of the colorful equipment against the snow, the truth is grim. It's the final resting place for many. This place shows just how dangerous climbing Everest can be, especially when climbers are so focused on reaching the top that they might not see the risks. Eric Shipton's discovery in 1951 of what looked like footprints of the mythical Yeti added a layer of mystery to Everest. He and his team found these unusual footprints high up on a pass between Nepal and Tibet, which led to lots of speculation and debate about the existence of the Yeti. Even though people have tried to find out more for decades, there's still no proof that the Yeti exists. Some people doubt the pictures Shipton took, but others, who were there, say the footprints were unlike anything they'd seen before. The story continues with more insights and guesses aimed at explaining the strange footprints. Michael Ward, who was with Shipton, thought maybe the prints came from a local Tibetan person with very big feet. He based this on seeing people in the Himalayas walk in the snow without getting frostbite, showing how people can adapt to very cold conditions. The mystery of the Yeti has brought up a lot of debates and fake stories, showing the tricky relationship between old tales and scientific study. Reinhold Messner, a famous climber, first thought the Yeti was real after seeing something strange, but then he decided it was probably just a bear or another wild animal. His change of heart shows how hard it is to tell myth from reality in the Himalayas' mysterious places. Scientists have also tried to solve the Yeti mystery with DNA tests, which showed some Yeti samples might actually be from bears that lived a long time ago or are still around today. But even with these scientific findings, the fascination with the Yeti lives on. It shows how much we want to explore unknown things and understand mysteries. The Yeti stands as a symbol of all the unknown mysteries in the wildest parts of our planet, reminding us that there's still so much we don't know, despite our advances in science. The story of the forgotten Russians from 1952, who disappeared trying to show Soviet pride on Everest, adds another layer to the mountain's complex history. This secret mission, forgotten by Soviet history and only found out later, reflects on the mystery that surrounds those who meet their end on Everest. The fact that over 200 people have died on Everest and remain there tells a story of the mountain's danger and attraction. These people, frozen in time, tell stories of dreams, disasters, and the strong human spirit. But their presence also makes us think about whether chasing fame is worth the risk. Step into stories of Everest that blur the line between bravery and caution. Tragic tales from Everest's daring heights. In the world of Everest's legends and true tales, two stories stand out, painting a vivid picture of both human ambition and the raw power of nature. First, there's the story of Green Boots, a nickname given to the fallen climber Taiwang Paljor, who perished in the brutal storm of 1996. His brightly colored boots have become a haunting landmark on Everest, marking the spot where he last rested. This place serves as a somber warning to all who pass by, symbolizing the fine balance between reaching for one's dreams and the very real dangers that the mountain holds. Paljor's story reminds climbers of the harsh reality that Everest does not discriminate in its challenges or the toll it exacts. Marco Siffredi, another adventurer drawn to Everest, carved a different path with his groundbreaking snowboarding expeditions. Born into a family with a deep connection to the mountains, Siffredi was destined for high-altitude adventures. He first made a name for himself by conquering the steep and technical north face of the Aiguille du Midi on Mont Blanc. However, Everest called to him with a unique challenge to snowboard down its treacherous slopes. In May 2001, Siffredi achieved a remarkable feat by completing the first-ever snowboard descent of Everest via the Norton Couloir, as the Hornbein Couloir lacked sufficient snow for his purpose. Yet, this achievement only stoked his desire to conquer the Hornbein Couloir. In 2002, Siffredi returned to Everest with an unwavering resolve to tackle the Hornbein Couloir. Despite the promise of more favorable conditions later in the season, the endeavor was fraught with peril. Tragically, after reaching the summit and beginning his descent, Siffredi disappeared. The circumstances of his vanishing are shrouded in mystery, with speculations ranging from tragic accidents to more mysterious fates. His body has never been recovered, sealing his status as a legend of Everest, a figure emblematic of the mountain's allure and the indomitable spirit of adventurers. These speculations about Siffredi's fate, including theories of accidents or intentional disappearance, highlight the unpredictable nature of Everest. Despite the lack of definitive evidence, Siffredi's pioneering spirit as a snowboarder and adventurer endures, inspiring tales of courage and the relentless pursuit of uncharted territories. Through the narratives of Green Boots and Marco Siffredi, Everest reveals itself not just as a physical challenge to be conquered, but as a complex character woven into the fabric of human aspiration and the eternal mysteries of nature. Ueli Steck, known as the Swiss Machine, is celebrated in the world of mountain climbing for his amazing accomplishments and record-setting climbs. He had a passion for climbing that led him to achieve incredible feats, like climbing the north face of the Eiger at a record pace and being the first person to climb the south face of Annapurna by himself. Steck was known for climbing fast, with great care and often alone, which won him 2 Piolet d'Or awards, mountaineering's highest honor. His ambition didn't stop there. Steck planned a challenging expedition to climb both Everest and Lhotse without using extra oxygen. This effort was meant to add another milestone to his already impressive career. Sadly, while getting ready for this climb on Nuptse, Steck had a fatal accident. The details of his accident are not fully known, but his passing left a void in the climbing community. Despite this, Ueli Steck's influence remains strong. He inspired many climbers worldwide with his courage, innovative approach to alpinism, and the incredible achievements he made during his life. Explore life on Everest and a man's extreme challenge against it. One man and a devastating night. Mount Everest is not just a barren wasteland of snow and rock, but a place brimming with life, demonstrating nature's incredible ability to adapt. Despite the thin air that makes it difficult for most living things to survive, a variety of animals have made this harsh environment their home. From tiny Himalayan jumping spiders that leap across ice crystals, to the majestic snow leopards prowling the rocky outcrops, life on Everest thrives against the odds. This surprising abundance of life in such a desolate place tells a story of resilience and survival, showing us that even in the most extreme conditions, life finds a way to continue. The adventure of Maurice Wilson to conquer Everest in 1934 is a tale of dreams clashing with the harsh realities of nature. Wilson, once a British soldier who later turned into a mystic and pilot, embarked on a journey driven by spiritual belief and limited climbing knowledge. He hoped divine help would guide him to the summit despite his lack of mountaineering skills. His ambitious plan was to fly solo to Tibet, crash land near Everest, and then climb to the summit on his own, challenging both common sense and the established norms of mountaineering at the time. Wilson faced numerous setbacks, from a plane crash that made headlines to being banned from flying by the British government, but he persevered and reached India. His journey from India to Everest was filled with obstacles, including being barred from entering Tibet and then disguising himself as a Buddhist monk to cross the border with the help of 3 Sherpas. Wilson's attempt to climb Everest was plagued by his inexperience and poor decisions, such as abandoning essential equipment like crampons and underestimating the dangers of the mountain. Despite reaching a remarkable height, his quest ended tragically as he succumbed to the mountain. His diary, found later, reveals his unwavering resolve in the face of overwhelming challenges. The 1975 British expedition to Mount Everest's southwest face, featuring climbers Doug Scott and Dougal Haston, showcases the incredible resilience humans can demonstrate under extreme conditions. On September 24, 1975, Scott and Haston became the first British climbers to summit Everest via what was then considered the most challenging route. This achievement was not only a point of national pride, but also a testament to their bravery and the difficulties they overcame. Their most challenging moment came after they reached the top, as they had to spend a night at 28,750 feet without any shelter, oxygen, food, or warmth. This critical situation tested their survival limit. During this intense night, they felt as though a third presence was with them, providing comfort and encouragement. This mysterious experience, described as feeling a guardian angel with them, adds a mystical aspect to their story, suggesting that people might find comfort in inexplicable ways when faced with severe hardship. Doug Scott is celebrated for much more than this single expedition. As an accomplished climber known for tackling high altitude and big wall climbs, Scott participated in more than 45 expeditions across Asia. His reputation for enduring against the odds was further cemented in 1977 when he climbed the Ogre with Chris Bonington and broke both legs near the summit, yet managed to survive. In his later years, Scott focused on giving back, particularly through his work with Community Action Nepal, a charity aimed at supporting the communities in Nepal. This expansion of the original passage further emphasizes the achievements, challenges, and contributions of Doug Scott and his team, underscoring the blend of human endurance, the mystery of their extraordinary experiences, and the legacy of giving back to the mountain communities that are integral to Everest's history. Discover Everest's secrets from ancient seas to a snowboarder's daring dream. The Two Sides of Everest, the story of sea fossils. Mount Everest, an enormous mountain covered in snow and rock, shows us both the beauty and the harshness of nature. It holds stories that mix the power of the earth with people's brave actions. One of the most interesting things found on Everest is marine fossils right at its top. This discovery is unexpected and teaches us about how our planet can change. Long ago, the place where Everest now stands was under the sea. Finding these fossils makes us think about ancient stories where the world is covered by great floods. Some people see these fossils as proof that those old stories might be true. Others, who rely on science, view them as evidence of how the Earth's surface moves and changes over time because of plate tectonics. Then we have the sad story of Marco Siffredi, a fearless snowboarder who went missing while trying to snowboard down one of Everest's most dangerous paths, the Hornbein Couloir. He wanted to make history by taking on this challenge, but instead became a reminder of how dangerous Everest can be. His story shows how much people are willing to risk to achieve something extraordinary. Yet, It also warns us about how dangerous it is to push our limits too far on Everest. These stories together tell us a lot about Everest. They share about the incredible ability of animals to survive there, the strange things climbers have experienced, and the secrets hidden in the mountain's rocks. They show us that Everest is not just beautiful, but also very dangerous. It's a place where nature is in control, and people's dreams can either come true or end tragically. The saga of Mount Everest, with its fascinating hidden sea creatures that once roamed where its peaks now stand, alongside the narratives of intrepid explorers, one of whom vanished in his quest, prompts us to reflect on our connection with the natural world. It serves as a reminder that Earth has a storied past, filled with changes that could catch us by surprise. This majestic mountain remains indifferent to human aspirations and accomplishments. It embodies both the beauty and the terror of nature, illustrating nature's overpowering force and our relative insignificance. Mount Everest can be likened to a book brimming with stories of courage, endurance, and at times, tragedy. These narratives help us understand the extent to which individuals are prepared to go in their pursuit of discovery or conquest, despite the clear and present dangers. The mountain, with its ancient fossils and the tale of a snowboarder who never returned, beckons us to contemplate the broader aspects of our existence. We are invited to consider a world where history persists into our present times, and where our future, much like the swiftly changing weather atop Everest's summit, remains unpredictable. The tales emanating from Everest, a mountain that once lay beneath the sea, and the story of a man who endeavored to conquer it but failed to return, encourage us to ponder the adventurous and occasionally reckless nature of humanity. These stories urge us to examine our actions and the environment that surrounds us more carefully. Everest transcends its physical form to become a teacher about the might of the natural world and our role within it. It silently observes our planet's unfolding story and the endeavors of those bold enough to tackle its heights by presenting us with its age-old secrets and the stories of those who have interacted with its daunting presence. Everest challenges us to think about our own place in nature's grand tapestry. The mountain, through its sheer existence and the stories it holds, teaches us about humility before nature's majesty. It is a testament to the unyielding power of the natural world, standing as both a guardian of Earth's rich history and a witness to the human spirit's resilience and vulnerability in the face of the vast, untamed wilderness. Everest is full of surprises, from wild animals to brave climbers. What would you dare to do on Everest, or what scares you about it? Tell us in the comments.